Hey guys, so those of you that are at home, I'm sure that you're starting to have a little bit of confusion about the different types of multiplication of fractions. So I'm going to show you essentially the three ways that it can look and what you do when it's each of these three ways. Okay, so get out a piece of paper. I promise you this will clarify a lot of things for you. So get out a sheet of paper. At the top, I want you to write a 1. And this is the first way that you could see multiplication of a fraction. So it could be a fraction times a whole number. Okay, so what that could look like would be this. So like if you had 1/2 times 7. Okay. What do you do when it's 1/2 times 7? How do you find the answer? Okay. So when you have a fraction times a whole number, you only, write this here with a star on it, you only multiply the numerator. Okay, or you can put a 1 under the whole number, or put a 1 under the whole number. Okay, so what that means is if you've got 1/2 times 7, so this is 1/2 times 7, I told you you can either only multiply the numerator, so you could do 1 times 7 is 7, and it would be 7/2, or you could do this, take 1/2 times 7 and put a 1 under the 7, and then you can multiply 1 times 7 equals 7, and 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, now keep in mind that you can't leave this like this because it's improper, so you have to take 7 divided by 2. It goes in 3 times with 1 left over, so that is 3 1/2. You cannot leave it improper. Okay, so that's the first way. That's if you have a fraction times a whole number, you can either only multiply the numerator, or you can put a 1 under the whole number and then multiply the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so that's way number 1. Way number 2, the second way that you might see a fraction multiplication. What if I give you a fraction times another fraction? Okay, what do you do when you see that? Okay, so what if I have like 1/5 times 2/3? Okay, all you got to do for this one is you multiply the numerator, multiply the denominator. So just write that here, multiply numerator, that's the number on the top. Then you multiply the denominator. Ms. Ross, it can't be that easy. I promise it is. Then multiply the denominator. Okay, so for example, 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 3 is 15, and you are done. Ms. Ross, seriously? I'm not even kidding you. Let's do another one. So let's say you've got 3 times, let's do 3 times 6 okay, sorry. Let's say you've got 3/4 times 6/8. Here is how we are going to solve it. You are going to multiply the numerators, and you've got 3 times 6 is 18. Then you're going to multiply the denominators. 4 times 8 is 32. Okay, of course, these are big numbers, so you have to simplify. What are the factors of 18? You've got 1, 2, 3, 6. What goes with 18? 2 and 9 and 18. And then you have to ask yourself, what is the biggest number that can also divide into the 32, okay? So I'm looking at this, and I'm pretty sure that the biggest number that can divide into 18 and into 32 is, it's not 9, it's not 6, it's not 3, so I guess it's 2. Let's see what we get. 18 divided by 2, and then 32 divided by 2, so you would get 9/16, and there is your simplified fraction. So you just multiply the numerator, multiply the denominator, and then you simplify, okay? The final one that you might see if I'm asking you to multiply a fraction is you might have to multiply mixed numbers. Multiply mixed numbers. All right? And if you have to multiply mixed numbers, you have to do this first. Make them improper first. You cannot multiply mixed numbers until they are improper. So here's what they would look like. So if you've got 3 1/3 multiplied by 1 1/4. Before you can multiply those, you have to make them improper. If you multiply them as they are, it'll never work. So to turn this into an improper fraction, you have to get mad at it. You multiply 3 times 3 and add 1. 3 times 3 is 9, add 1 is 10, 10/3. And this is a 4th grade skill, so you should know it. Then 1 1/4, you multiply 4 times 1, add 1. 4 times 1 is 4, add 1 is 5/4. Then what you do is you, again, now that this is simplified, now that these are improper fractions, now you can just multiply them using the same rules as up here. Multiply the numerator, multiply the denominator. So here we go. 10 times 5 is 50. 3 times 4 is 12. Miss Ross, this has a big fat head. Yes, it does. You got to fix it. So you're going to take 50 and divide it by 12 so you can make it so this is not improper anymore. 12 goes into 50 4 times. 4 times 12 is 48. When you subtract, you get a 2. Start at the top, go around the clock. So that is 4 for your whole number and 2 out of 12. Miss Ross, can I simplify 2/12? Yes, you can. You can divide the top and the bottom by 2 and get 4 1/6. Okay? So when you are multiplying mixed numbers, you have to turn them improper before you can multiply. I can't tell you how many kids I have day after day after day, year after year after year, come to me and they say, oh, this is 3 1/12. No, it is not. Is the answer 3 1/12? No. You have to turn them improper first, and your answer is definitely not 3 1/12. Okay, so to review the 3 ways. Fraction times a whole number, you can just multiply the numerator, or you can put a 1 under that 7 and then multiply top and bottom. Fraction times a fraction, multiply the numerator, multiply the denominator, and then simplify if needed. And then multiplying mixed numbers, you have to make them improper first. Okay, so 3 1/3 turns to 10/3, 1 1/4 turns to 5/4, and then you can multiply and turn it into a mixed number. All right, I love you guys. Bye.